Good morning from my kitchen. You know, all the time I say to myself, I need to show you some of the things that happen in my kitchen. I do it every now and again, but I guess maybe not often enough. And so today I'm making one of my favorite breakfast items, and trying to cook with one hand and hold the camera, very challenging, but hey, what can I tell you? In Jamaica we call this turned cornmeal. Turned cornmeal, simply because you keep stirring it until it's done, and it's a very simple dish to make. So basically what I did was just cut up my seasoning, and seasoning includes scallion, thyme, onions, garlic, and I did also use a little bit of Maggi. You know, everything tastes better with Maggi. Yeah, so I used my Maggi chicken seasoning, and then of course, you know, oil, a little tubs of ketchup, didn't use any browning even though I'm focusing on it, and salt. So yeah, coconut milk as well, of course. And so what I did was just mix all of that together. Usually I would have kind of sauteed the onions and scallion and thing together, but in this particular case I had some gravy left over from beef from last night's dinner. So I had this brilliant idea, why not just mix everything together and put it in the beef gravy. And so that's what I've done. I'm really learning to become extremely creative in the kitchen. And so you see now, first it was very liquidy, and you allow it to just come to a nice thick consistency, and then turn the stove on very low and let it take its own little time and cook. Now, fun story, I was working in the hotel industry at Boscobel, and there was a travel agent fam that I was hosting, and we went to the Italian restaurant, and of course I'm the host and I'm ordering, and yeah. So anyway, I'm trying to light the other stove and I realize I can't do everything with one hand, but I'm coming back to the story. So I have a fish head right here with some today let's call it leftover Friday. I had some fish soup from yesterday's lunch, and that thing that you're looking at over there is some orange rind. And I said to myself, even though the fish head seasoned and thing, why not just throw the fish soup into the fish head? So I guess we could call this leftover Friday cooking for breakfast. So that's what I did. And as a result, I am having what for me is a classic breakfast, which literally is turned cornmeal with steamed fish. And I'm trying to do all kind of crazy things here, and I'm not think I'm doing a good job. So yeah, back to the story. And the story is, I was working at the hotel hosting these travel agents, and in the Italian restaurant they came with the menu, and big on the menu was polenta, and I didn't know what that was, and they tried to explain it but didn't quite get it. So eventually, when the dish came, I realized that this fancy Italian dish was actually turned cornmeal, and it was not a cheap meal overall. And that is when I gained absolute great respect for Jamaican turned cornmeal. So I'm just going to leave it there, and really nothing to steam fish, because once everything is in there. For seasoning, of course, salt, lots of salt, onions. I have some frozen vegetables that I just drop in there too. Scallion, thyme, Miss Maggie again, and I might put a little ketchup. I want to see how the fish soup cooks down and how that all comes together. But yeah, so this is kind of what's happening this morning in my kitchen.